Hey everybody, John here from Cardboard of the Rings, and I am back this time with issue 2 of The Lord of the Rings, the card game, the magazine by Hachette Partworks out of the UK. Now, if you missed episode 1 in our series, go ahead and check that out on the channel here, and also hit that subscribe button while you're there, and while you're just clicking subscribe on things, you can also find the podcast in your favorite podcast app, and that'd be great. Hey, this series is interesting. Again, this is a product that was aimed at new players, meant to teach them the game over the course, I guess, of several issues. So only 4 issues were published. We're covering all 4 issues in this series thanks to listener AJ who sent them to us. So just as a review, I'm going through each issue as if I were a new player, and I'm going to build on what I learned from the previous issue and just see what we get. At the end of it, I will review the issue as if I were a new player, and then following that, then I'll give you a review as someone who has played the game for a long time, and give you some feedback about whether or not I think this would actually teach a new player how to play this game. Now, I will say, issue 1 had some issues, and there are some things that were a little confusing, and after kind of looking through this one a little bit, I think we're going to run into a couple of those kind of things again, but that's okay. We're going to get to them when we'll get there, and we'll figure them out together. It'll be fine. Let me show you what we've got in this issue of Lord of the Rings, the card game, the magazine. We've got the magazine itself. We've got a fancy, very fancy, one single 9-pocket page. I'm just going to set that off to the side. We've got a new encounter deck, and we've got some new player cards. Now, 2 notes about the player cards. 2 notes about the cards in general. First, they don't smell the same. I know. It's a disappointment. They just don't have that same FFG LCG smell to them. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. The print quality's fine. The foil is cool. I mean, the foil on that one, on Aragorn, is not as foily as the One Ring is. That is just gorgeous. But it's cool. Print quality's good. It's clearly digital. The stock is different. But overall, the cards are like well-made cards, good quality cards. Now, I'm a print nerd. I care about that. Literally 5 of you who are watching this who are print nerds who care about that. There you go. Everyone else, you don't care. You just want to see me play the game. So, yeah, this issue comes with the issue, the storage solution, some more encounter cards, and some more player cards. The other note about the player cards, by the way, is that this, we're going to see, has us build our player deck. I've already done that. I'm taking a page from all the cooking shows I used to watch on PBS, and I've pre-baked this one in the oven beforehand. So, anyway, let's get into Lord of the Rings, the card game, the magazine, issue number 2. The adventure continues. Welcome to the second issue of Lord of the Rings, the card game collection. If you were with us last issue, we pick up right where we left off with the next part of the epic saga of the Lord of the Rings. If you weren't, check out the red box to the right to find out how to pick up a back issue. Well, so much for that. In this issue, we meet Aragorn, otherwise known as the enigmatic Strider. Even before the 4 hobbits departed the Shire, the wizard Gandalf instructed Aragorn to hunt down Gollum as part of his search for information about the origins of the strange gold ring left behind by Bilbo Baggins. And in this issue's adventure, you can play the part of Aragorn in his hunt for Gollum. It starts over on page 4. If you want a refresher on the story before you begin, you can find that on page 3. This adventure introduces rules for combat and travel between locations, while making use of the many rules introduced in the last issue. On top of that, in this issue's rules reference, starting on page 15, you'll find a complete guide to the anatomy of your hero cards and player cards, perfect for when you want a quick reminder on where to find a hero's willpower or attack strength while playing through the adventure. Okay. So as before, I'm not going to read the story text. I'm just going to read the instructional and the rules text. And at the end of this, we'll look at it from the perspective of a new player, and then I'll review it from the perspective of somebody who has been playing this game a long time. All right, ready? Here we go. Setting up the game. In this adventure, you'll lead Aragorn on a hunt for Gollum. Aragorn must cover many long leagues and search for signs of Gollum, battling foes along the way if he's to stand any chance of hunting down the elusive creature. 1. Setting up the player deck. For this adventure, since you'll be using the lone hero Aragorn. For this adventure, you'll be using the lone hero Aragorn. Since Aragorn is your only hero, you'll want all the cards in your player deck to be cards that Aragorn can use, which means cards with the purple rune symbol on them, also known as the leadership symbol. So that's what that means. The first time you play this adventure, make a player deck using the cards listed in the box below. Take the listed cards from your collection, put them in the order shown, and place them face down on the table, ready to play. Okay. All right. So player deck for the hunt for Gollum. Here. Cards go there. All right. Setting up Aragorn. Place Aragorn on the table in front of you and put your resource and progress tokens in a pile to one side, just like you did last time. As Aragorn has prepared well for this difficult quest, he starts the game with a special bonus. 5 extra resource tokens in his resource pool. He also begins the game with Dunedain quest attachment, representing the importance of his quest and his special orders from Gandalf. I guess that's... okay. We'll give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is swimming in money. And the Dunedain quest attachment. I want to put that under him so that we can be reminded what it does. Attached to a hero. Attached hero gains +1 willpower. Action. Pay 1 resource from attached hero's pool to attach Dunedain quest to another hero. I don't think we're going to use that. Now, draw the top 3 cards from your player deck. They should be Sneak Attack, Celebrion's Stone, and Northern Tracker. Now you're ready for the first turn. The hunt for Gollum. Aragorn sets off into the wild on his hunt for Gollum. It won't be long before he encounters the first of the enemies determined to get in his way. Time to take the first turn of the game. Step 1. Just like in your last adventure, at the start of each turn, give your heroes 1 resource token each and draw a card. So 1 more token on Aragorn, who is buried in resources, and draw a card. Dunedain Mark. You now play cards from your hand. As Aragorn is adventuring alone, it's a good idea to boost his willpower. Spend 2 resources from Aragorn's resource pool to play Celebrion's Stone from your hand and attach it to Aragorn. Okay, we'll attach this to Aragorn. It gives him, we're going to pay the cost. There we go. Attach it to Aragorn. Attached hero gains +2 willpower. If the attached hero is Aragorn, he also gains a spirit resource icon. Although, the magazine doesn't tell us that, but the card tells us that. Golden rule. Remember, golden rule from issue 1? If you don't know, it doesn't matter. Or does it? Maybe it matters. We'll find out. Now it's time to turn over the top card of the encounter deck. I mean, I'll be honest. If Aragorn gets a spirit resource icon, and I've got 4 resources and a Northern Tracker in hand, we're just gonna do what the book says, or what the magazine says. Okay. Now it's time to turn over the top card of the encounter deck. It's some wait. Now it's time to turn over the top card of the encounter deck. It's some Misty Mountain Goblins. As you saw in the last adventure, you don't always have to fight enemies just because they're in the staging area. But in his hunt for Gollum, Aragorn has little time to waste. So for this adventure, Aragorn is going to have to fight each enemy as soon as he encounters them, wherever possible. So I guess we're not questing. Move the Misty Mountain Goblins from the staging area to just in front of Aragorn to show that they are in combat. This is called engagement. Here, I'll make things a little clearer for us. All right. Combat. When you choose to engage an enemy, combat follows. Unfortunately for Aragorn, when you do so, enemies attack first. That's why they're the bad guys. I've always wondered. After resolving enemy attacks, your heroes get to make attacks of their own. The Misty Mountain Goblins attack first. This forces you to exhaust Aragorn's card, turning it to the side, but the strength of 2 Okay, exhaust Aragorn to defend. Strength of 2, attack of 2 against Aragorn's defense of 2. It isn't enough to get past Aragorn's defense strength of 2, but it's still enough to exhaust Aragorn, meaning he can't attack back this turn. Let's look at these green boxes. Damage. The amount of damage a hero or enemy card can take before it's destroyed is shown by the red number halfway down the left-hand side of the card. Resolving attacks. In each combat, there is an attacker and a defender. Only ready characters can attack or defend and must exhaust to do so. Attacks are resolved by comparing the attacker's attack strength to the defender's defense strength. If the defender's defense strength is equal to or greater than the attacker's attack strength, the defender doesn't suffer any damage. If the attacker's attack strength is greater than the defender's defense strength, however, the defender suffers damage equal to the difference between the two. Alright. So, the goblins attack, their attack does not get through Aragorn's defense, and on to the next thing. The West Bank, our brave heroes need to cover some ground in their hunt for Gollum. Now they must traverse the goblin-infested West Bank on their journey. Step 1. It's a new turn, so give Aragorn 1 resource token. I guess we refresh him at the end of last turn. Didn't tell us to do that, but whatever. Give Aragorn 1 resource token and draw another card from your deck. It's the Guardian of Arnor, one of Aragorn's ranger allies. Aragorn is still facing the Misty Mountain Goblins, so could certainly do with the help. Spend 3 resources, 1, 2, 3, to play Guardian of Arnor straight away. Spend another resource to play Dunedain Mark. Dunedain Mark is a 1-cost attachment attached to a hero. Attached hero gains +1 attack. Alright, so Aragorn now is attacking for 4. Next, turn over the top card of the encounter deck. It's the West Bank. Again, this is my staging area. This is engaged with me. It's a little confusing, I'm sorry. Small spaces. This is a location card. Aragorn will need to travel there as quickly as possible to keep up his pursuit of Gollum. Location cards. Like enemy cards, location cards are placed in the staging area when revealed from the encounter deck. You don't always have to travel to a location as soon as it's revealed, but if you don't, it will remain in the staging area, adding its threat value to any enemies there and generally making life harder. Alright. Step 2. In this adventure, if Aragorn is to stand any chance of hunting down Gollum, he will need to travel to each new location as soon as it's revealed. Travel. Again, I guess we're not committing to the quest. Travel. When you travel to a location, it becomes the active location, meaning you're able to place progress tokens on it. Once a location has a number of locations on it, another typo. Once the location has a number of progress tokens on it equal to its quest points, the location is explored and you can discard it. Essential if you were to advance in your quest. When you travel to the location, place it to the left of the encounter deck. Well, I'm playing a little bit different, so we'll put it on the magazine. Outside the staging area to show that it's the active location. We'll just put it there on the nice pretty picture of the West Bank. Sure. With no time to waste, Aragorn and the Guardian of Arnor travel to the West Bank of the river. Move the West Bank card. We'll move it there to show that it's the active location. You don't need to move Aragorn or the Guardian of Arnor, but the pair are still dogged by the Misty Mountain Goblins. Combat. Choosing attacks and defenders. Enemies attack and characters defend one at a time, so now that you have multiple characters in the game, Aragorn and the Guardian of Arnor, you'll need to choose who fights when. Misty Mountain Goblins attack first, but you get to choose who they attack. You can pick either Aragorn or the Guardian of Arnor as the defender. The Guardian of Arnor only has a defense of 1. However, he also has a special rule which means he gains +1 defense for each enemy engaged with you. It's right here. Guardian of Arnor gets +1 defense for each enemy engaged with you. Which means he has a defense strength of 2 against the Misty Mountain Goblins. Choose him to defend against their attacks and exhaust the Guardian of Arnor card. The Misty Mountain Goblin's attack strength of 2 is fortunately not enough to hurt him. Now, so 2 against 1 +1 defense of 2 means the attack bounces off. Now, you can exhaust Aragorn and use him to attack back. Aragorn has an attack strength of 4, including the bonus from his Dunedain Mark, which may be just off the screen here, while the Misty Mountain Goblins have a defense of just 1. The difference is 3, meaning that Aragorn causes 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. Enough to destroy the Misty Mountain Goblins, who have 3 hit points, meaning Aragorn allowing Aragorn to move on in his hunt for Gollum. Okay. It doesn't tell me what to do with the card after I have the 3 damage on it, but I guess we should discard it because it's dead. That sounds good to me. Sound good to you? Sounds good to me. All right. Next page. We'll move the West Bank here, and we'll put it right back up here. So we didn't actually get to use the progress tracker that time because it did not fit on that page. We put it right up there in the middle of the pretty artwork. Turn 3. Time for another turn. Aragorn, oh, again, doesn't tell us to refresh, but refresh. Aragorn gains a progress token. No, he doesn't. He gains a resource token. A lot of typos. Aragorn gains a resource token. You draw another card. Rear Guard. Rear Guard is a 1-cost leadership event. Quest action, discard a leadership ally to give each hero committed to this quest +1 willpower until the end of the phase. I don't know about that. Let's see. You'll need to make some progress this turn, so commit both Aragorn and his Guardian of Arnor ally to the quest. Exhaust their cards to indicate this. Aha. Okay, so we weren't questing previously. I wonder what happens if you don't quest in this game. I guess we found out. Or did we? Now it's time to reveal the next encounter card. So we're questing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 willpower total. Next encounter card is a False Lead. False Lead forces you to shuffle a clue card back into the encounter deck, but fortunately or unfortunately, you haven't found any clues yet. So instead, False Lead gains Surge, meaning you need to turn over the next card of the encounter deck. Okay, so False Lead says, when revealed, the first player chooses and shuffles a card with the printed clue trait back into the encounter deck. We don't have any of those, so if there are no clue cards in play, False Lead gains Surge, which we discovered last time. I guess Surge always counts this time. Next card is Signs of Gollum. This is an objective card and just what you were looking for, but it's not quite so simple. Turn over the next card in the encounter deck. It's the East Bank. It is the East Bank. Aragorn will have to explore that location in order to find the Signs of Gollum, but there can only be one active location at a time, so he'll need to finish exploring the West Bank before crossing the river. Now, Signs of Gollum. This explains, I guess, this guarded word here. The Signs of Gollum cards have the keyword guarded. This means that even when you reveal them, getting your hands on them won't be easy. When you reveal an objective card with the guarded keyword, reveal the next card from the encounter deck. If it's an enemy card or a location card, attach it to the objective. Then you'll have to defeat the enemy or explore the location before you can claim the objective. Okay, maybe we should attach the objective to the location or the enemy. I think that might be the better way to do it so we can read what the location is doing. All right, now, making progress. Just like in the last adventure, you make progress by committing characters to their quest, and then comparing their willpower to the threat of any enemy or location cards in the staging area. Aragorn and the Guardian of Arnor are both committed to the quest and together have a willpower of 3, plus Aragorn has Dunedain Quest and Celebrian Stone, not Calarian Stone, attachments, giving him +3 willpower for a total of 6. But the East Bank is in the staging area and has a threat rating of 3, and so deducting this from your willpower gives you a final total of 3, earning you 3 progress tokens. This matches the 1, 2, 3 quest points shown on the West Bank card. So you have fully explored the West Bank and can discard the card. So you do discard cards once they're explored or destroyed. See, I was right. I intuited the right thing, even though it didn't tell me what to do with it. Discard the card. Return the spent progress token to the pile. Aragorn and the Guardian of Arnor are ready to cross the river and search the East Bank. You can ready their cards too. I guess I don't travel right then. Interesting. Okay, the East Bank. The pressure is building for Aragorn to make haste on his urgent quest. What challenges will a new location bring? Turn 4. As ever, start the turn by giving Aragorn 1 progress token. No. 1 resource token. And drawing a card. It's Son of Arnor. Son of Arnor, 3-cost leadership ally. He has a response after Son of Arnor enters play. Choose an enemy card in the staging area. Currently engaged with another player. Engage that enemy. Not useful right now. Okay, you're going to want to travel to the East Bank this turn, but as you can't explore a location of the same turn you travel there, there's no point committing characters to the quest. Better to keep them ready in case any enemies turn up. We're going to come back to that. Turn over the top card of the encounter deck. It is more Signs of Gollum. And it's guarded, so just like before, turn over another counter card, Misty Mountain Goblins. Now, Aragorn and his ranger ally have their work cut out. Enemies and locations are starting to mount up in the staging area, which means making progress will become increasingly difficult. Best to try dealing with both now. So first we're going to travel to the East Bank. Again, I don't know why we couldn't have traveled at this point after staging last turn, but we're going to do it now. We'll travel to the East Bank, and we'll move it over here. Over to the left of the encounter deck. Well, we'll move it over here to show that it's the active location. Then engage the Misty Mountain Goblins. Slide them down from the staging area to a spot in front of Aragorn and the Guardian of Arnor. Okay, so there we go. Combat. I'm just going to scoot all this over here. Combat. As ever, the Misty Mountain Goblins attack first. Once again, choose the Guardian of Arnor as the defender and exhaust his card to show this. He gets the defense bonus from his special rule as usual, so he's at defense 2. Misty Mountain Goblins can't hurt him. Just like before, Aragorn gets to attack back. Exhaust his card to show this. He deals 3 damage to the Misty Mountain Goblins. Again. 1, 2, 3. 3 damage, which is enough to destroy them, and claim the Signs of Gollum they were guarding. Still no instruction about what to do with the destroyed enemy card. Claim the Signs of Gollum they were guarding. Place the Signs of Gollum next to Aragorn. If you can find enough Signs of Gollum, you'll be successful in your quest. We'll put them here, as if we'll just stack them up. Okay. That is not what this says. This says response. After the player's quest successfully, the players may claim Signs of Gollum if it has no attached encounters. When claimed, attach Signs of Gollum to any hero committed to the quest. Counts as a condition attachment. With forced, after attached hero is damaged or leaves play, return this card to the top of the encounter deck. So that's not what the magazine tells us to do. So I guess the actual golden rule is do what the magazine tells you to do. Okay. Right. On to the next page. Turn 5. Again, no instruction to ready from the previous turn, or during the previous turn. Turn 5, add 1 progress token. You can read it yourself. 1 resource token to Aragorn's resource pool. Let me read it as printed. Add 1 progress token to Aragorn's resource pool and draw a card. Add 1 resource token to Aragorn's resource pool and draw a card. Sneak attack. Not sneak attack. Did I put it together wrong? I might have put it together wrong. Are we missing a sneak attack? All right. Sneak attack. Just in case anything nasty comes along, spend 1 resource to play Dunedain Warning from your hand. I don't have Dunedain Warning in my hand. Let's check. Okay. We are Sneak Attack, Calabrian Stone, Northern Tracker, Dunedain Mark, Guardian of Arnor, Rearguard, Son of Arnor. Another Sneak Attack. I don't see how we would have Dunedain Warning, or Dunedain Quest, Calabrian Stone, Dunedain Mark. We don't have Dunedain Warning. In fact, it's in the deck, but it's way deeper in the deck. So let me go back and I'll show you what I'm stumbling through here, because it tells you, it constructs the deck for you, and you have to put the cards. Essentially, you're going to get them in reverse order of what this is. So your first 3 cards you get are Sneak Attack, Calabrian Stone, Northern Tracker. Then we've got the Dunedain Mark, Guardian of Arnor, Rearguard, Son of Arnor, and then Sneak Attack is what we just drew, right? Right. So we don't have Dunedain Warning in our hand. It's still in our deck. So we can't get Dunedain Warning. This is kind of like Surge was in the first issue. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. It's just wrong. It is just wrong, and this is just confusing. And as a new player, I am confused. But if our actual golden rule, the mithril rule, if you will, is to do what the magazine says, I'm going to go dig Dunedain Warning out of the deck, and we're just going to keep playing what it says. Dunedain Warning. Spend 1 resource to play Dunedain Warning from your hand after fetching it out of your deck, because it's not where they think it is. Attach it to Aragorn to give him +1 defense. All right, we're going to put that on top. So he's +1 defense. We'll just remember that. All right. Progress has to be your main aim for this turn, so commit Aragorn to the quest. You'll need to exhaust his card to do this, but just in case any new enemies appear. Once you've done this, spend 1 resource to use a special rule on Aragorn's card, which allows you to ready him. Again, response after Aragorn commits to a quest, spend 1 resource from his resource pool to ready him. All right. So he's committed at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 willpower. Turn over the top card of the encounter deck. It's a new location, Amon Law. Place it in the staging area. It has a threat rating equal to double the number of players in the game. You're the only player in this adventure, so that's a threat rating of 2. Now let's look at this. When to travel. So far it's been best to travel to each new location as they appear, but Amon Law has a nasty special rule. If you travel there, you'll have to treat the text boxes on any attachment cards as blank. So the special rules for attachments like Calabrian Stone, hey, they got it right that time, mostly, and Dunedain Quest won't apply. Did they get it right that time? I was right. They were only mostly right. They were missing the accent on the I. But you know what? They got the B in there. So we'll give it to them. Oh no, they do have the accent on the I. I just can't read. Sorry. My apologies. My apologies. I got that one wrong. So far it's been best to travel to each new location as they appear, but Amon Law has a nasty special rule. If you travel there, you'll have to treat the text boxes on any attachment cards as blank. So the special rules for attachments like Calabrian Stone and Dunedain Quest won't apply. It might be best to not travel to Amon Law at all. But this is a decision for next turn. You always need to plan ahead when deciding whether or not to travel to a location. All right, well, that seems true. Progress. At least there are no new enemies to deal with this turn, so it's time to work out your progress. Aragorn is committed to the quest. His willpower of 2, +2 for Calabrian Stone, again, right on this page, and +1 for Dunedain Quest for a total of 5. Place 5 progress tokens on the East Bank. 2, 3, 4, 5. Easily enough to explore it completely. Boom. Take that off. Move that there, and you gain another Signs of Gollum card. Really? Well, actually this time, yeah. After the player's quest successfully, the players may claim... I don't remember the timing on that card. But I'm a new player, so it doesn't matter. We're not going to worry about that right now. You gain another Signs of Gollum card, add it to the pile with the first one, then discard the East Bank and return the progress tokens to the pile. We already did that. So for following the playthrough, we should have Amon Law up here. We should have Aragorn stacked with a bunch of stuff, including Dunedain Warning that there's no way he could have had by now. And Guardian of Arnor just chilling out over here. I guess they're laying out their play area the opposite of mine. That's okay. All right, let's continue with Amon Law. The peak of Amon Law in the Imen Muil looms large as you pass down the east bank of the Anduin. Could Gollum be lurking there? It's a dangerous location to explore, and progress through it will be tough. Where will your hunt take you? Turn 6. Well, I guess we don't have to ready. Add 1 progress token to Aragorn's... Again! Add 1 progress token. No. Add 1 resource token to Aragorn's resource pool. And draw a card. Common Cause. That's right this time. You may need some help this turn, so spend 3 resources and play Son of Arnor from your hand. Another Ranger. One of them Rangers. Okay. Another Ranger companion for Aragorn. Now you have a choice to make. Will you explore Amon Law? If you do, you won't benefit from the special rules for any of your attachments. If you leave it in the staging area, it will make all of your progress more difficult. For now, it's best to stay ready for any new enemies you may encounter, so don't commit either of your characters to the quest. You won't travel to Amon Law, not yet at any rate. I'm going to nitpick the word either there, because it should be any. I'm not going to nitpick the thing that I don't know because I'm a new player. But, yeah. Turn over the next card in the encounter deck. Hunters from Mordor. Hunters from Mordor. These will be difficult foes since they gain +2 attack strength for each clue card in play. +2 and +2. Yeah, +2 attack and +2 threat for each clue card in play. Although for this adventure you don't need to count the 2 you've already found. Well, that's nice. Combat. Time to fight the Hunters from Mordor. They have an attack strength of 2, so choose the Guardian of Arnor to defend. Okay. He gets +1 for them being in play. So he matches their attack with his defense strength of 2. Yep. Okay. Now Aragorn gets to attack back. Spend 1 resource to play... Wait, what? I'm really trying. Like... Okay. I don't have any resources on Aragorn. Looking back at the... Did I miss one? Maybe I missed one. Let's say I missed one. Let's say that I made the mistake. I'm sure, this is not the first time a play mistake has been made on this channel. Maybe if I hadn't spent that resource on the Dunedain Mark that I shouldn't actually have. Anyway. We'll say Aragorn has the other resource. Spend 1 resource to play a sneak attack from your hand. Sneak attack. Action. Put 1 ally card into play from your hand. At the end of the phase, if that ally is still in play, return it to your hand. We will play, I guess, Northern Tracker. What? Remember, Celebrian Stone gives Aragorn a blue star symbol. That doesn't matter because we're sneaking in the ally. But whatever. Exhaust both the Northern Tracker and the Son of Arnor to allow them to attack as well. So Aragorn's attacking for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 against 2 defense and 6 hit points. And yeah. Aragorn and his 2 allies have a combined attack strength of 8 against the Hunters from Mordor's defense strength of 2, so it does 6 damage, just enough for Aragorn to destroy them and keep up the hunt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of those. Boom. Okay. Dead Hunters from Mordor. Again, doesn't tell us what to do with the card, but we're just going to assume that we discard it. Then return Northern Tracker to your hand. Okay? Turn 7. Doesn't say anything about readying, but we'll do that at the end of turn 6 there. Okay, now turn 7. Again, add 1 progress token. No, add 1 resource token to Aragorn's resource pool and draw a card. Strength of Will. Again, you have the option of traveling to Amon Law this turn, but this still seems unwise. Instead, stay ready for any enemies and turn over the top card of the encounter deck. Signs of Gollum. As ever, the card is guarded. So turn over the next card too. Another Hunters from Mordor. You must be getting close to Gollum. But these hunters will be tricky to deal with since they get +2 because of the clue card they're guarding. Okay, so combat. The hunters from Mordor attack, and you have to choose a character to defend. Alas, there's no good choice at this point. So, yeah, agree. There's really no good choice at this point. So exhaust the Guardian of Arnor to defend the attack. The hunters have an attack strength of 4 since they're guarding a clue card. Against the Guardian of Arnor's defense strength of 2, the Guardian of Arnor suffers 2 damage. A pretty ghastly wound, leaving him with just 1 hit point. You need to protect him for the rest of the adventure if the brave Guardian of Arnor is to survive. Now you get to attack back. Both Aragorn and the Son of Arnor can attack, but their combined attack strength of 6 won't be enough to destroy the Hunters from Mordor this turn and could slow you up badly. Spend 1 resource to play Sneak Attack, which allows us to do the thing with Northern Tracker again from your hand. There we go. Now, with a combined attack strength of 8, I guess we exhaust them for that now. It's enough to see off the Hunters from Mordor and claim a 3rd Signs of Gollum card. Again, 6 damage to them. I'm not going to do the dance with the tokens. You get the drill. Another Signs of Gollum. Okay. As ever, it's a start of a new turn. Well, is it now? It doesn't say what to do with Northern Tracker. He comes back to our hand. Oh, no, it does. Sorry. Ready your characters, then return Northern Tracker to your hand, and it's on to the next turn. Yeah. Hey. Again, I was wrong. Let me just read the magazine. We'll stick with it. Turn 8. As ever, it's the start of a new turn. Add 1 progress token to Aragorn's resource pool and draw a card. It's Ever Vigilant. Ever Vigilant. 1 cost leadership event. Action, choose and ready 1 ally card. Okay. Since there's no active location to explore this turn, turn over the top card of the encounter. I'm not sure I follow the logic there. Next, since there's no active location to explore this turn, turn over the top card of the encounter deck. It's Amon Hen. Another of the peaks of the Emyn Muil. Like Amon Law, Amon Hen has some pretty nasty special rules to contend with. If you travel there, you won't be able to play event cards. Place Amon Hen in the staging area. With 3 Signs of Gollum already found, it's probably best to preserve your resources to take on whatever enemy or explore whatever location is guarding the final Signs of Gollum. So get ready to take the next turn. I guess we're not going to travel anywhere. We're just going to go on to the next turn, which will be in the Dead Marshes. There are just 3 cards left in the encounter deck. Aragorn must be close to the final Signs of Gollum he needs to track the elusive creature down. But his resources are all but spent. Maintaining the pursuit will not be easy. Turn 9. Follow usual routine. I guess at the end of the previous turn, if we'd exhausted, we would ready. Add 1 resource to Aragorn's resource pool. And draw a card. Valiant Sacrifice. 1 cost leadership event. After an ally card leaves play, that card's controller draws 2 cards. With no active location to explore, turn over the top card of... With no active location to explore, turn over the top card of the encounter deck. It's Eastern Crows. Place the Eastern Crows card in the staging area. The Eastern Crows, like the locations of Amon Law and Amon Hen, present a problem in that their threat will make it harder to make progress and explore any further locations. But dealing with them is still likely to be more of a distraction, so for now let's leave the Eastern Crows in the staging area and see what another turn brings. The Eastern Crows have surged, though. But I guess we're just going to ignore it. The Mithril rule is just do what the magazine says. Turn 10. The extra turns are useful in that they also allow Aragorn to build his resource pool back up. On a technicality, it's true. So add another resource, as usual, add another resource to the pool and draw a card. Not ever vigilant. Again, this is definitely in the order that it told me to put it in, but we'll put ever vigilant on the top because it's Mithril rule. Spend 4 resources from Aragorn's resource pool. I mean, again, check me on this in the comments, and I'll watch this when I edit it, but have I missed adding a resource? Or is it this defense attachment that I don't need? That was probably a line that was probably removed in editing, or should have been removed in editing. Anyway, okay, whatever. Mithril rule. Do what the magazine says. So he must have 4 resources. So we're going to pay the 4 resources to bring the Northern Tracker into play. Northern Tracker has a response. After Northern Tracker commits to a quest, place 1 progress token on each location in the staging area. Now, maybe it would be useful to point out that Celebrian Stone gives Aragorn the blue star or spirit icon. It still hasn't been explained to us what that icon means, sorry. But because Aragorn has that icon, we can play this blue card even though he is leadership, or purple. All right. Step 2. Then turn over the top card of the encounter deck. It is the final Signs of Gollum card. I'm going to stack up our locations here. Final Signs of Gollum card. Turn over the next card too to see who's guarding it or where the signs are to be found. The Heart of the Marshes. You'll need to travel there and explore it in order to claim the Signs of Gollum, but that won't be easy with so much accumulated threat in the staging area. In situations like this, you need to plan carefully. Travel. Step 3. There is 1 card in your hand, which can certainly help. Strength of Will. You can play it by exhausting a character with the blue star or spirit icon. Fortunately, Celebrian Stone, again spelled correctly, gives Aragorn 1 of these. So travel to the Heart of the Marshes. We'll move it again over here onto the magazine. Then play the card, Strength of Will. He has a response. After you travel to the location, exhaust a spirit character to place 2 progress tokens on that location. I don't know why I'm not exhausting Northern Tracker, but Mithril rule. Strength of Will, 2 progress tokens. Oh, even better, you can play Strength of Will by exhausting any spirit character. It doesn't have to be. So exhaust the Northern. I see. Aragorn, and then we have a second. We have a second Strength of Will. We have a second Strength of Will, apparently. I mean, there's 1 in the deck. I want to go back through and be sure I'm not crazy, but okay, Strength of Will, whatever. Second one, Northern Tracker. That's a total of 4 progress in the Heart of the Marshes. You successfully explored the location and found the last Signs of Gollum. Take a look at the special 2-sided Gollum card. This is your prize, but it is certainly not the last you'll be seeing of Gollum. The only question is, will he be an ally, or an enemy? And we get a little sidebar about Eastern Crows here. Eastern Crows are a real nuisance. They're no threat to you in terms of attack, and any of your characters will be able to see them off with ease, but if you do defeat them, you have to shuffle the Eastern Crows back into the encounter deck, which means you might just end up having to fight off the Eastern Crows over and over. Finally, replaying the adventure. The Hunt for Gollum presents some challenging decisions, but is a pretty simple adventure to play. Once you're familiar with the rules for earning progress tokens, travel, and combat, there are a few different ways of replaying the adventure for some additional challenge. Choose your own path. As you saw when playing through the adventure the first time, the Hunt for Gollum presents plenty of points when decisions must be made. Will you explore Amon Law to stop the threat level rising in the staging area? Do you prefer Northern Tracker as an ally to the Guardian of Arnor, and so want to bring that card into play sooner? Well, you can shuffle the player deck. The player deck used in this adventure gives you as the player a variety of options. Shuffling the deck before you replay the adventure will present a different set of challenges. Take a couple of moments to look over the cards in your hand at the start of each turn, and let the cards you have available influence your decisions about when the travel and explore. I think when to travel and explore. When to fight, and when to bring allies and attachments into play. Build your own deck. Taking things one step further, you could build your own deck. To do that for this adventure, just choose 20 player cards from your collection and shuffle them together. Remember that you'll want the cards to be useful for Aragorn, though, so your starting point should be a good selection of cards with a leadership icon on them. Otherwise, you won't have a resource match, and Aragorn won't be able to play them. Remember, too, though, that if you include Celebrian Stone, this gives Aragorn a spirit icon, so you might include a few spirit cards, too. Did we? Oh, yeah, we finally did get that explained. Okay. Finally, shuffle the encounter deck. Shuffling the encounter deck will increase the challenge in this adventure significantly, but if you're familiar with the rules needed to play, give it a try. Remember that when you find a Signs of Gollum card, it will be guarded by the next card you turn over. When playing against a shuffled encounter deck like this, you'll find decisions about when to travel, when to commit characters to the quest, to earn progress tokens and explore locations, and when to keep them ready to fight to become a bit trickier. Good luck. All right. Card anatomy, I will post the still so you can take a look at that. And card anatomy for attachment cards and event cards as well. In general, anything that's not a hero has a cost. Well, all of these cards will generally have traits or can have traits. They generally all have spheres of influence, and they certainly all have titles and their types at the bottom, as well as game text and set information that matter. All right. Thoughts as a new player. I felt awfully confused. I think I am going to go back and verify that I put the deck together in the right order, the order I was told to at the beginning, versus the order that the magazine had me play it. But it does seem very confusing that I, at one point, was told to play a card that there was no way I had it in my hand. And I'm struggling to think why that was, other than just a mistake in editing. Same, because of that, it threw off the resource count on Aragorn, I think. That was confusing. That was just confusing. So, what did I learn? Well, I learned a little bit about locations, and I learned about guarded cards. And guarded cards seem like that they might come up pretty often. So that might be a good thing to know. What I am confused by is when does the threat on these locations matter? And is it only when I'm questing, or is there any other situation in which the threat might matter? The other thing I'm confused by is why we didn't trigger Surge on these Eastern Crows, because it clearly says Surge on there, but the magazine didn't tell me to trigger the Surge. In fact, didn't mention it at all. And the next two cards in the deck, or the next card in the deck, was the card that I was supposed to reveal in the following turn. So if I were to play it as it were, that last turn would have looked a lot different. Okay. Now, as an experienced player, that wasn't good. That just wasn't good. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That was confusing. That was extremely confusing. I mean, well, first off, the fact that card names were misspelled. Celebrian Stone was Calarian Stone several times. The fact that it kept referring to progress tokens instead of resource tokens. I mean, this happened in the last issue too. Merry and Pippin got mixed up. In fact, we were told to put a card on Pippin twice, where one of them should have gone on Merry. I complained about that last time. Okay, so the quest phase is a mess. There's no, like, essentially, this magazine has you doing what every new player tries to do and shouldn't do, which is to ignore things in the staging area and don't quest against them. But that's like the number one mistake new players always make in this game. I mean, I made it, okay? Like, I'm sure you, if you're not a new player, in recent days, you can remember back, in the old days when you were a new player, when you made that mistake. You always have to quest against what's in the staging area, because the threat mechanic in this game is the ticking clock that makes you do stuff. Otherwise, it's like the magazine said, these extra turns are great because you get to keep adding more resources and drawing more cards. I mean, the threat is such a fundamental mechanic of this game. The fact that it's not in this yet really bothers me. It makes there's no tension here. I mean, I guess maybe for fun, I'll go back and I'll shuffle things up and I'll play a different, I'll play it differently. But were I a new player, I'd be very confused about what's even going on with the quest phase. You might be able to hear the train coming through. The reason you don't hear that on the podcast is because I'm usually in my closet upstairs, but down here in my studio, no such luck. So you get the full experience. Anyway, just combat. So let's look back through. None of these cards have shadow effects. The fact that I don't know where to start. I'm sorry. The fact that that in combat you don't deal a shadow card, or at least you're not yet instructed to deal a shadow card, really makes combat boring. There's just nothing. There's nothing to give you that sense of danger. You can look and see, oh, I can defend this guy, or I will take a couple damage, but I'm not concerned about this. There was nothing about undefended attacks, and there was no instruction about just taking the attack and then turning around and attacking back without having to exhaust or defend. You just take the damage and the result of the shadow. I feel like there was another thing that was really puzzling me, but the questing and the travel and that, like, this teaches you a way to use these cards to play, but it is not really Lord of the Rings, the card game. Like, this is kind of the way I have taught my oldest child, but she's 7. And even then, we talked about always having to quest against stuff in the staging area. So, yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm way more down on this than I expected. I expected it to be different, but I expected it to be playable, and I expected it to be an edited and complete product. I guess at least, you know what? On the bright side, we still get Hot Pants Gollum here. Oh man! All right. Well, that was The Hunt for Gollum, issue 2 of the Hachette Partworks series, Lord of the Rings, the card game, the magazine. If you like this video, if you like watching me struggle, please leave a comment. As always, you can reach out to us at Cardboard of the Rings on Twitter, COTRPodcast on Twitter, or cardboardoftherings@gmail.com. Find us on your podcast feed. Watch the videos on YouTube. Again, new players, if you are a new player, please, I exhort you, go watch Chad's new player videos, okay? They're on this channel here. Go watch them. This is not, just the quest phase stuff. That alone, that is going to not teach you well how to play this game. But I'm going to keep going with these. I got 2 more to do. And so if you want to keep going on this journey with me, well, I'll see you next time.